today we're going to draw Frosty the Snowman. And I'm going to use mostly one of my smaller pens for this one because we got a little bit more line work that we're going to work with. I don't have quite as much room to use one of my large markers. So what we're going to do is start off by drawing his face. We're going to draw an oval on its side, right here in the middle of my page. That's his nose. And then what we're going to do is draw a tall oval for his left eye. It's coming off of the oval we drew for his nose. We're going to draw another oval right next to it. It's going to overlap just a little bit, so it's going to look like it's under that first oval. And we're going to put his eyeballs in there. So we'll draw two smaller ovals inside there. I'm going to put a little circle in there for some highlights. On each one of them, we're going to leave that circle white. And just take my little marker here and fill everything in but the circle I drew in there. Okay, so underneath that, we're going to give him a smile. Go over to his left side here. Bring it around like so. We're going to give him a little bit of cheek on each one by drawing a little half circle on each one, at the end of each side of the mouth. And then we're going to do a little half circle underneath there for his mouth and color that in. Okay, from there we're going to give him his pipe. So from the mouth, we're just going to draw two small straight lines that come out. And then I'm going to make my pipe a little bit curved right there. And then right underneath the bottom of it, I'm going to put a curved line. And come back up and another curved line. So we're going to connect the two like so. We're going to see just a little bit of the top of his pipe, so I'm going to go in there and make another little line curve the other way that forms top of his pipe, and then a little bit of a dark area right there in the middle so you can see inside of it. Okay, so from there what we're going to do is begin to draw in his head and his hat. So I'm going to do above his eyes, I'm going to make a line that starts over near the left side where we finished his cheek and his mouth off. I'm going to put a line above there and draw kind of a straight line at an angle above his eyes. Not quite much longer than the cheeks that we put in there. That's going to be where his hat meets his head, where his head goes up inside of it. So from there, from the left side, I'm going to come down, make big curve like so, come down right about where his cheek is. On the other side, same thing. I'm going to go above with the right eye, bring the curve around, and I'm going to need to jump over where I am with the pipe. So the pipe's in front of his cheek. So let's go back up here, top of his head, and what we're going to do, I'm going to actually go ahead and put in a little bit of detail so I can jump my marker around on the page. On his right side right here, we're going to put a flower that's going to be on his hat. So we're going to start that off with a circle, and then we're going to put some ovals around it, however many you want. I think I'm going to do 5. Like so, and that lets us know where our hat's going to need to skip some. We're going to need to have our marker jump over some things. So let's go back down here next to his right eye. What we're going to do is go to the right side of his head, and we're going to draw a little curve around there. And we're going to come back in towards his head, and about the point where his head meets his hat line, I'm going to stop there. And then bring it back up like so. Come to a little light point and then bring it back around. Go to his left side. curve back inward. Alright, so what we want to do here, draw the right side of his hat. We're going to go back to the right side of his head and make a little line that connects the flower and the brim of his hat. We're going to jump past that hat, past that flower, go up, make the line a little bit longer, like so. And then we're going to go over to the other side, the left side, about where, again, his brim of his hat meets his head. We'll go up a little bit above that. We're going to draw a little line, curved a little bit if you want to. You don't have to. Here on the left side, that's the left side of his hat, and we're going to draw a line that connects the two. Okay, so let's go in and start drawing Frosty's arms, legs, and body. So I'm going to go right here, the right side of his head where I finished it off. What I'm going to do is draw a really big curve that comes around. I'm going to go above the pipe here. I'm going to stop right there. So you've got a curved line that isn't quite a full circle. We're going to end right there, and then I'm going to bring it around and make his thumb, like so. Now from here we're going to draw his fingers, so from where the thumb ended, I'm going to bring it around and down. Then I'm going to come in, pick up, do the second finger, bring it around and down, like so. And then his last finger, we're only going to give him 3 fingers, around, down, and then back, around just a little bit more, so we form a wrist. And then we're going to go in there and draw a line that goes down like so. Alright, so I'm going to jump to the other side, and I'm going to draw his body in, and go ahead and go to the left side. I'm going to actually make it start from where his left side of his head is. If you go to where his cheek is, it goes straight down almost. We're going to put our marker right there, bring it down, really big curve, comes all the way around. What we're going to do is swing it all the way around, come back to where his arm was, right there. So we can give it a little bit of depth if we want to. I'm going to make this line extend just a little bit more. Okay, from here we're going to go in and draw his feet. So I'm going to go to the right side, put a little line that comes down. Going to go to the left side, a little line that comes down. On the left side I'm going to make his heel, so I'm going to bring it around a little bit. Stretch it out here, curve around, come back to where our first line was, but we're going to keep going a little bit past that. Same thing with the other leg. We're going to make a line that comes down. Go to the other side of the leg, line that comes down. And then what we're going to do back to our first line, we're going to bring it around as the heel. Pull it around, bring it back, overlap those lines right there. So we're getting close on our Frosty. What we're going to do here next is go in and begin to draw his hand. So his hand we're going to put about right here. So we're going to need to leave a little bit of room to connect his hand, which will be right here, to his arm and shoulder. So make sure you don't draw his hand too close to his head. Leave a little bit of room there. So what we're going to do is go in there. We're going to start with his little finger, his pinky. Let's start with a curved line that comes around and ends. Almost like we're drawing an oval, but we're not finishing it. We're going to draw his next finger, bring it up, around, and in. And then we're going to draw his first finger up, around, and we're going to keep going back through, like so. But I'm not going to bring it all the way around because I'm going to draw a broomstick right in there, and we need to draw that in and fill it in before we finish everything else out. So one thing we can do is go in and put the thumb on his hand, so where we've got these 3 fingers here. Let's just draw kind of a squished oval right there. Okay, so from the top of his hand, what we want to do is draw a little line that goes up And pretty close to it, another little line. We draw a short little curved line right there that completes the two. And I'm gonna make that line just a little bit longer. That's the part of the handle that holds the straw of the broom on there. Finish that off with another little line. Then we're gonna go in here, draw a curved line, bring it around, kind of swooping there and ending in a point right there. And go to the other side. Same sort of thing, draw a curved line. You can draw it however you'd like to curve it. I give mine a little bit of a wave to it. Then what we're going to do is we're going to connect these two lines, but we're going to leave some gaps in there. So connect it with a curved line, but I'm going to lift up my pen, put it down over here, lift it up again, put it down over here. So I've left a couple of gaps in there. What I want to do with those gaps is bring a line down there, ends in a point, and then connect it with that gap there. So we're going to use sort of these pointed dips in there to connect those, to give the broom a little bit of life and a little bit of shape. Just give it a little bit of depth. What we're going to do is in those little grooves, we're going to put a line that connects, and that looks like the other side of the broom. So let's go on the broom here and put a line straight across like so. Another line straight across like so. And so straw on a broom has a lot of texture. So we're going to put that in by putting a few lines like so on the edges, and then some lines there on those straight lines we put on the broom. So we don't want to put lines for texture everywhere because that'll make it look too bumpy, but we just need to give the illusion that it's not completely smooth. Then right here on this little handle, I'm going to put a few lines as well. Okay, so we've got the start of our handle here. What we're going to do, I'm going to go to the right side here, and I'm going to start where my handle met my hand right there. I'm going to jump over all the fingers, so it's almost like I'm drawing a line and then jumping, keeping my pen moving, and then put it right down there on the other side. And by jumping over, by pretending we're continuing to draw that line, it keeps it looking like they belong together, like it's one straight piece that goes through it. Same thing with the other side. Line, jump over all the fingers, put it back down. And I'm trying to keep these fairly straight. At the end here, I'm going to curve it. And it is a little bit more of a... Frosty's a cartoon character, so things don't have to be just precise and right in place. You have a lot more freedom when you draw a cartoon character. Okay, so let's go here on his arm. And what we want to do is where we ended off with the hand behind the broom, what we want to do is jump over there, bring his arm in to meet his body. Kind of fake that there, and then go in on the other side of the arm, go in there, and just bring a curved line up there that meets at the shoulder. So there's our Frosty the Snowman. Let's finish this one out by signing your name to your work. Thanks, and I hope I get to see you for another drawing. Thanks for drawing with me today. You can subscribe to my newsletter to get more art fun. Just go to brianmaysart.com/newsletter. And I'd love to see what you drew. Share it on Facebook or Instagram, and be sure to tag Brian Mays Art so I can find it. See you next time.